Hey folks, hope everyone's doing well out there. It's been a little while since I posted any updates or videos, so I thought I would make a little video and let you all know what I've been up to, and a few things that are new. So, the past few weeks I've just been working on trying to get Ballistica 1.5 and BombSquad 1.5 kind of polished up, cleaning up whatever bugs been running into. I've had a few folks contribute bug fixes and things, so thank you. Also been cleaning up some documentation, things like that. So there's certain things under the Ballistica wiki. If you come to the Python overview, it'll talk a little bit about like how all the new Python packages relate to each other, what they're all for, things like that. There's a few new things under the knowledge nuggets section, etc., etc. But the biggest new thing that I've done recently is I got the server stuff working. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So anyone who's run a BombSquad server, you're probably familiar with this kind of stuff. There's two versions of the game. There's the graphical version that most everyone plays, and then there's the headless version, or the server version, whatever you want to call it, which just serves games. And so people, you can run that on a Linux server or Mac or Windows or whatever you want. So I recently just got that working in the whole Ballistica setup. So that's kind of exciting. So I'm just going to show that a little bit here. Go into my Ballistica directory, got everything latest. Okay, so if you remember from the last videos, so you can now do this prefab stuff on Ballistica. So if I do make prefab debug, for instance, this is going to build like a prefab version of the debug build of the game. So it'll take all the scripts and whatnot that I have in my own little local copy of Ballistica, package them up, download binaries or whatever, and then you get a little running copy of the game here. So what I recently did, though, is if I just do make by itself, it'll give me a list of targets. So you can see I added some new prefab server targets. So all this does is it lets you basically build your own server version of the game, which is cool. So if I do make prefab server debug, now it's going to package all this stuff up, and there we go. It launched the server. This may look slightly familiar if you've run BombSquad servers before, but I took the opportunity and cleaned this up quite a bit, so I'm quite happy with it now. So it's spinning up a server. If you know how the server stuff works, let me just go ahead and okay, yeah, here's the build, so Mac server. So the server itself is just a little script, and basically that script handles running the game itself. The game it lives under this dist directory now, but this is the headless copy of the game. So this is the binary down here, and the server basically just will run the binary over and over again. So it'll reboot your server every 6 hours or so just to keep things fresh, or it just kind of like wrangles the server for you. So that's what this guy is here. It's the server manager. And so as it says, I have a server running. It gave me this little error because it's not accessible from the internet because I haven't forwarded the port to my machine, but that's expected. I can still join it locally here. So I will fire up BombSquad 1.4, which should be able to connect to it just fine. Yeah, 1.4. Gather local network, and there we go. So now I am connected to my server here. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about, which is kind of cool, is I made the server more interactive. So before there were some commands you could enter, you could like change the config on the fly and things like that, but now it's just a little slicker. It's got a full kind of Python interpreter in here. So if I do, let's see, mgr dot, it's even got like tab completion. So there's this mgr object, which is the server manager, and it has a bunch of stuff you can run. Like you can broadcast messages. I'll just show you some of that. So here I'm connected to the game. So let's do mgr.broadcast. Hello, this is your server. Once you see everyone on the game, we'll get that message. You can also do stuff like restart the server if you change the config or you want to like download a different playlist or something like that. So mgr restart. I'll do immediate equals true. Otherwise, it'll wait till the end of the next round or the next series. So you see the server's restarting, so it just kicked me out of the server. And this thing is bringing the server back up. Okay, server's back up. What other goodies do we have? So these I just added today. Oh yeah, you can run a command on the server, so there's cmd. So mgr.cmd. So let's just, if you want to, I don't know what you'd want to do. Print, let's see, BA. So this, you're sending a string command to get run on the actual server binary that this thing is running. So anyway, that's can be useful, but probably makes no sense at the moment. What else is good? Oh yeah, there is mgr.clientList. I just added this one today. So this will give you the client ID and the names of all players in the game. So this can be handy if you have some annoying player that you just want to kick manually instead of having to go through the vote system, things like that. So here, I'm just going to start a game. So I do client list right now. So there's one client connected, which is this guy. His account name is Efro, and here are the two players. So you can kind of, hopefully you can see who it is in your servers that you want to kick, and then just do mgr.kick 113. And boom, now I've kicked that client out of the server, and he can't come back. You can also, if you do help mgr.kick, you can also pass a ban time if you want to ban them for a certain period of time or things like that. So anyway, that's what's kind of cool. The server manager is just more interactive now, and it's also just really cleaned up. So let's see if I can. I'll just show you here. Assets, source. So it lives here. Ballistica server.py. I might do a demo of this later just to kind of go over how this code works, but the server itself is really not too complicated. It's, several hundred lines of code, but it's a lot cleaner than it used to be. And it's really easy if we want to add server commands, things like, I don't know what else might be useful. Like I said, I just added the functionality to run a command on the server binary to kick players, to list clients. If there's other things that would be useful as server owners, like let me know if you guys have ideas. We can pretty easily add stuff now. Aside from that, if you just want to give this a whirl, this should mostly be working. So if you just grab the latest Ballistica, and like I said, just run, here I'll kill the server process, just run make prefab server debug, or you can make prefab server release if you want to get a slightly more optimized build. But the games themselves are mostly working. You might run into a few bugs, you might run into a few game options that flip out or something, but just post issues in Ballistica if you run into stuff like that. Just come into GitHub, come into issues, and just post a problem. If you run into any games that aren't working or things like that, it's starting to get to the point where things are pretty clean, I think. So anyway, that's that. That's the server stuff. Pretty excited about all this. So give it a whirl, let me know how it goes, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. So later.